اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. Welcome back to Life on the Blind Side. I want to say I am your host, Nabila. So I'll just say that. I am your host, Nabila. And thanks to everyone who showed my last video a lot of support. It really do mean a lot to me as I am now starting and this whole experience is new. So I just want to say thank you guys so much for showing so much love and support for that first video. And I hope you guys continue to support me as I go along. I hope everyone is doing well, and if I sound stuffy, it is because I am stuffy. I am recovering from a slight cold. Today, I'm going to talk about peer pressure because a lot more worse than how it was back in my day, which was like in 2015, 2016. Someday, me and my sister was having a conversation, and I was listening to it, and I was like, whoa, kids really do be getting peer pressured, and they don't even know it because society has made it such a normal thing that if they do it, they're not thinking on their own. Society has set the way for the upcoming young women and young men where where in the part in which they have to use their actual minds to think and analyze a situation. They are not able to do it without the help of a friend who in the long run the friend mightn't even be looking out for them or whatnot. So society has played a big part in encouraging, I would say encouraging peer pressure, and that is really not a good thing because I just want to say alhamdulillah, I did not get peer pressure into anything, and that is because I don't know what is the cause of that. I guess I was just not interested in the things other kids was doing, that, and because of my deen, my Islam played a major role because like I know it have some non-Muslim listeners, but this could apply to you guys as well. The moment you have a firm faith or a firm belief in like, for me, I believe in Allah. So because of my strong belief in Him and my fear that, if I do this, there's punishments, or if he's always watching, the God fearing and my God consciousness always kicks in. So I put that as part of why I wasn't peer pressure. And I guess it would apply to the non-Muslims, like I mentioned, whoever is non-Muslims and they are listening to this. Once you have a strong God conscious and God fearing mindset and soul and heart deep down, if you do this, it's wrong, then it's easily not to get peer pressure into it. But there are still a lot of people, even though they do believe in God or whatnot, they still get peer pressure, and in their eyes, that is the normal. And like I said, that is because society today has made it the normal. I would be talking about it in a Muslim point of view, but I guess some of it could be reanalyzed for anybody. One of the things that the society has made normal is alcohol, and obviously I am totally against alcohol, and Well, for obvious reasons, I'm a Muslim, but society has made it a norm that if you don't have alcohol involved, you cannot have a good time. And that is 100% wrong because I am a 20-year-old Muslimah who likes having her friends around, and I like throwing, I would say, get togethers or parties, but my kind of parties doesn't have loud obnoxious music or alcohol or any kind of alcohol or anything to do with alcohol. And even if it have music, it would be like Islamic music. We try not to have music because the devil and stuff like that. A norm that society has put a claim on is having alcohol present for fun, which I 100% disagree with. And a lot of Muslims obviously would disagree with, because you could have fun without alcohol. And an example for this is last year, December 20th, I hosted a games night, and we estimated the games night to last for at least 3 hours. It lasted for like 5 hours. So what we did in that 5 hour span, we played a lot of games. We had karaoke. We we did have eats and drinks, all on the halal side. No alcohol was involved. So you could still have an amazing time without alcohol. And going back to the games night, that was one of the best things I could have hosted while being visually impaired, because having all these people that know about my situation and has been supporting me through this journey in the same area, just cracking up on random jokes, battling it against each other in their teams and winning prizes. Like, what more could I have asked for? And the food that night, because it was a night, that the food that night was epic. It was like party food, finger food, sliders, fries, puffs, sandwiches, those kind of things. So just goes to show that you don't need alcohol to have fun. And a lot of young people these days get pressured into, partying. And when they're at the party, the friend will be like, oh, taste this day and take a drink with me day, But like, society has put such a claim on that norm that Muslim or non-Muslim, we all get influenced. Well, not me, but they all get influenced and they end up doing something that they would regret. The moment you start consuming the wrong, it becomes an addiction. So even though you are trying to stop, you are going to have a really hard time stopping. Another claim that the society, and this is for a Muslim, right? Another claim society has put on a norm is, as a Muslim, we have to pray 5 times Salah. And a lot of young Muslim these days are missing their 5 times daily Salah because they are not dressed appropriately, they are not in an appropriate place to perform their Salah, they are not in a state of cleanliness to perform their Salah, and they are not making an attempt to go and perform their Salah. That is another social norm that they think if they postpone it now, they could always qadha, which means to make it up when they are praying their night prayer, Isha. So that's another thing that bugs my soul, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that the key to salat is wudu and the key to paradise is salah. If we just dispose of our daily salah and do all the haram in the world and go partying and go to clubs and consume alcohol, May Allah protect us from that, and we just follow everyone else. How are we going to end up going to our places written for us in Jannah? So, paradise. Jannah means paradise. So, that is another social norm I would call that bugs me, because after I've experienced everything within the past year, I would say the past year, Salah is like the best thing that could ever happen. Because when you go into when you make your wudu, that is performing an ablution before you go to pray, and you stand up in front of Allah, it is like an entire new different person after you pray. And you feel lighter, you feel your head is more clear, your body feels cleansed. And at the end, when you start to make your dua, it's like you're just telling Allah everything that's on your mind, and then when you get up, it's like a new person. So why would you want to give up that for the social norm of discarding your salah? You know, why give up talking to God for a party or a sip of alcohol, or for wearing a short sleeve or a tank top or short pants that not even covering your knees for the males? Why give up salad for the littlest nothings, that society has claimed normal? And for those who are listening, keep in mind that I am speaking as a young practicing Muslimah. Muslimah means Muslim woman. So I'm not trying to attack anyone. I'm just speaking on my perspectives of everything. Another thing I want to put as that what society has made a norm, or what Muslims in the society think is a norm at the moment, is these nails, what do you call it, fake nails and nail polish. Allah has prohibited them for a reason. Another thing that society has put the norms on is relationships. I am just speaking for me, but I do not see the point of a relationship, because us Muslims know that anything you do in a relationship outside of marriage is a major sin, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us about the punishments multiple times in the Quran and in Hadith. So as a Muslim woman and as a Muslim man, being in a relationship serves no purpose whatsoever, unless the end goal, and there shouldn't even be a long distance to the end goal, which is marriage. Because the moment you guys meet up without, thinking, or you're just casually hanging out, and you just not casually hanging out with friends, like casually hanging out by yourself, it is the moment you let shaitan dip his toe in the situation, and that is where desires and emotions and feelings starts to stir. And when that starts to happen, we all know where it leads from there. And Islamically, it is prohibited to do any of that outside of marriage. So coming from an Islamic point of view, from a Muslim's point of view, my point of view, if marriage is not in the cards for you immediately, if you are a Muslim, I disapprove of relationships, honestly, because it not only is it physically draining to a body, it is spiritually and emotionally draining, because all the years and months you take up just being with the person, not, and like I said, this is coming from my beliefs, my point of view, my and an Islamic point of view. the moment, all the time you spend with your significant other without doing anything, there is going to be slip up, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us all with desires and wants and needs and feelings and emotions. So the moment we find somebody that we are really attracted to and we really connect with, and they feel the same way towards us, and we share a mutual communication and stuff like that, we are going to start to feel things, we are going to start to desire things. But being in a relationship and keep saying that you don't want to get married, or marriage isn't the end goal, that you're just in it for the fun, that is where shaitan is going to come, and he's going to fill your head with all these different thoughts, and you start to think like, well, we're going to get married in the end anyways now, so is that's okay if we do it now, or if we do this now, because that's okay. But in reality it isn't, because let's say, I'll use me myself as an example. Let's say I meet this really nice guy and we start kicking it off, and oh, I can't use myself earlier. Sorry, because you see, I don't see myself doing this thing, so I'll just use a random example. So let's say this girl, Muslim, and she meets this really nice Muslim guy, and they hit it off. But while they were talking, he said that he isn't ready for marriage. He just dating for fun, and but she really likes him, and they have a really nice connection. And she said, well, what if we do happen to get married someday? And he replies with, yes, someday maybe, inshallah, we'll get married. I don't So, and they continue dating, and but within down the road, they both start getting these random desires. Well, it's not random. Obviously, you guys know it's not random. They start getting these feelings and emotions, and they just was like, since we agreed that we're going to get married, not now, but sometime in the future, we could still do this, we could do that, because, you know, we're going to get married in the end. And they do whatever they had to do. And then a couple months go by, he come and say, well, here this, right? Things not working out, that are breaking up with you. How do you think the female is going to feel? She's going to feel distraught, heartbroken, empty. She's probably going, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but she is probably going to feel like, that obviously she have been used. Do you see where I'm going with this story? Basically, the bottom line is, why carry on something for so long? And the end, it is just that you're broken up, and that you you committed a major sin. So the point I am trying to get across is, there's no point in a relationship if you guys' goal is not marriage, and marriage is a cure to protect yourself from committing the major sins like zina, which is adultery. We don't want to be committing these things, because Allah told us about the punishments for these things in the Quran. This is another thing society has made normal, and a lot of young people, including young Muslims, are getting caught up in this. And it is so bad, 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 bad for the soul, for your iman, for your heart, for your emotions, for your psyche, for everything. Because when you perform zina, you are giving part of yourself, part of your soul to the other person. And what happens when this other person decides, to give up, and they just like, they say it's not working no more, and they leave? It's gone. Whatever you give them, they take it and they go. You are left with little. So to prevent us from feeling self worthlessness and hatred to ourselves and useless and used and stuff like this, don't get into relationships if you are not going to blossom into a beautiful marriage and have lots of kids, you know. So this is another thing that I think majorly that society has put a normal claim on, and it is one of my most hated things because it has taken the word love and turn it into a word which means play. It is no longer about, two persons connecting with each other. It just takes two persons, they connect for like 30 minutes, and then they just move about the day, which I don't approve of. And like, I want to use me for here. When people keep doing this and just have random relationships and breakups, what that's showing all those hopeless romantics out there that there's not a good, but I am female, so I will say male. There is not a good male out there for me. Everyone just has the same tricks and games up their sleeve, you know. So that is the view that the society is portraying, that it is okay to be in a relationship and to do these acts that are made for only those who are in marriage. That it is okay, you can do it. There's no harm in doing it, you know. There's definitely harm in doing it. I mentioned so before, but yeah. Another one is the hijab. Society has made it a norm for Muslim women not to wear their hijab. Like, why would you not want to wear your hijab? It is our pride, you know. Anywhere that someone sees a hijabi, they know, oh yes, that person is Muslim. It gives a good impression of our ummah, that, we are practicing the right thing. We perform our salah, we fast in the month of Ramadan, we give charity and these things, you know. So it just shows the world that we are not ashamed of it. And in today's world, not society, today's world, that is what we need. Because the state of many states at this moment is attack the Muslims. And when we wear our hijab, we are showing that we are proud to be Muslim. We are not ashamed of it. We love our religion just as you love yours. And this is how I show that I love my religion and how I love my Allah, by wearing my hijab. So turns it on us to make us feel like, what's the word I'm looking for? That the girls who wear the hijab, they see the other girls who don't wear the hijab, they wear whatever clothing they want, they style their hair whatever way they want, they'll hang around with whoever they want, which in reality, like I tell my younger sister, you do not need to hang out with anybody, or you could hang out with like one person, because at most of the times the group of people you are with, they do not stand by you or stand with you, they stand against you. So and here's the thing, for all of us Muslims and hijabis, especially the hijabis, we have a heads up, because when it's time for salah, all we have to do is find a clean area to pray, and we can pray because we are already dressed to pray salah. We are covered, because you cannot wear hijab in a short sleeve or a short dress or a short pants or a tank top or a short skirt. You know, we are already dressed in our long sleeves, our long pants, our gowns, our long sleeve dresses, so we just have to find an area to pray and we can perform our salah. So that's a perk of wearing your hijab. You're fighting against that, not only the society norm of not wearing the hijab, but you're also tackling the norm of getting your salah in on time and worshiping and thanking Allah for every and anything. So I hope all my whoever he Muslims who want to start wearing the hijab and break out of the ways. I hope this gives you an insight, not insight. I hope Allah gives you guidance, inshallah, that you start wearing the hijab and you start showing the world that you are proud to be Muslim and that they can identify you as a Muslim just by looking at your attire. So that is another thing I think that actually no, I know society has a the norm hold on is that pressure to wear the hijab. That's it. That is it. Pressure to wear the hijab because of society. Sometimes you just had to say kick society in its shins and do what we know is right. Because society is not going to be for us in the hard times. It is going to be laughing at us in the hard times. So the sooner we go against it and defeat it, the better for us and the cleaner our victory and the easier our hard times are going to be because we don't have the influence of society on us. And before and the another just one last one that I wanted to mention that I just remember because my little sister, she is in this age where society is a total mess and corrupted. Another thing that society has made normal is the use of curse words. I absolutely hate, and I will use hate my mother. I love her to death. My mother, from a very, very young age, has told me never use the word hate unless you mean it. And I mean it. I hate, I detest, I abhor, I hate curse words. Nothing good ever comes from using a curse word. And society has made it such a normal thing that the first word to come out of young people's mouths these days is a curse word. It is in the music they listen to, in the shows they watch, in the people they communicate with. I think the only place you're not going to hear somebody using a curse word is in the masjid. Because, and if you're saying curse words in the masjid, may Allah have mercy on your soul. Honestly, because why would you want to curse? Allah gave us thousands and thousands of words to use to speak from the mouth and to use the speech He has blessed us with. Why would you choose to use curse words? Because you want to be cool? Or you want to impress? I don't know if you want to impress because ain't nobody being impressed with curse words. I could tell all of that from now. So that's another thing I think society has made normal. And a lot of young people think that they have to include this in the vocabulary or they have to listen to the songs with curse words, even though we're not supposed to be listening to music. That's a fault on a lot of people parts, mine's included. May Allah save us from that. Inshallah, Ameen. But cursing is, I really do not like it. And I know a lot of parents don't either, so I don't know why young people think they have to curse with every single sentence or when they're trying to get a point across. It have a lot of words you could use to make a sentence sound sophisticated and when you're trying to get your point across, and a lot of those words, none of those words in fact are curse words. Okay, so to bring this to an end so I don't make it extremely long, these are just some things I think society has put the normal title on, or that society has claimed as the norm. Once again, this is my personal point of view. I'm not forcing this on to anyone. You guys can feel free to leave your opinions in the comments. I will go through them. That's basically it. I hope everyone is well and all the Muslims are preparing for Ramadan. And I guess I'll see you guys on the next one. That's a wrap. Bye.